1, 2, 3, 4. Brilliant. Okay, let's go back.
My job as the Associate Director is to provide support for Melly on the production, but also very specifically to be the Children's Director and to prepare them for what they need to do in the production. We had about 180 children who auditioned initially, and we ran a series of open auditions. And then from that, quite a few said they would like to be involved in the production. And then we needed 3 teams. So we selected 3 teams of children. So we've got 81 children in the show. So we had 6 weeks rehearsal where they came in their individual teams for 6 weekend workshops that was just me and not the professional company. And that time really was about them getting to know each other in their teams, them reaching and learning a level of professionalism, including kind of stage discipline and stage technique, so that when we reached the full company rehearsals they were ready. And also just them understanding the world of the play, the stories that they were going to be involved in, and also preparing them for their pre-show improvisation, which is quite a big part of what their involvement in the show is.
I think it's going to be really fun doing this, and I'm going to have a good time on stage, and it's just going to be like a warm atmosphere.
I'm excited about really the whole thing, like being in front of a huge audience with a load of people watching and a load of different performances, and I think it'll just be, the whole thing in general will be really excited, and I'm looking forward to it all.
Well, I'm excited about the costumes and stuff, but I'm also excited because most of my family are coming to see me, and I think that's going to be good.
Rats are clever, sociable, untemperamental. That was better, yeah.
And then the other challenge has been, because there's 3 teams, it's about making sure that all 3 teams are on the same page, so that when we get to the point where they're actually in the production, that within reason it's the same each night.
You stay on that note.
The pre-show improvisation is actually in the hall, and is when it's interacting with the audience. So there's only so much preparation you can do with that in terms of choreography. So actually the preparation for that has been about us imagining and thinking what it might be like when there's actually audience members there, and how that might be different, and how they can live and inhabit those characters in the way that they need to, when with a huge element that we can't really quite predict.
Good. And then get back quick though. Good.
So the first few weeks were very much about their excitement and also their nervousness of just kind of meeting a load of new other children and finding their place in the group. So I didn't bombard them, with too much about what their full role in the show was going to be.
How do you learn what a rat looks like and moves like?
Well, we've watched videos. And we tried to think like a rat. So yeah, because we know that rats scurry about and they don't really like to be left by themselves for a long time. Yeah, we're not like acting going like this, but we're kind of almost being gangsters in it. Yeah. Because like, if you go like that, it looks like a person pretending to be a rat, not really. So we're kind of having like the abilities of a rat, like in Harry Potter, the people in Slytherin house act like snakes, but they don't slither around on the floor, so that's basically what we're doing with rats.
What would you say has been the hardest part then of this process so far?
I reckon like remembering the chant, because the chant's quite long and there's a lot of different parts to it, and it can be quite fast in parts. So
do you think everyone's got it yet?
Well, we've actually only just finished it, just before lunch. So, I mean, we've got it, but maybe not stuck in our head so we can perform it perfectly, flawless.
I think it's important to go at a pace that they can cope with, but also to not have too much, to have your expectations too low about what they can achieve and what they can understand.
How have the kids integrated with the professional actors?
It's been actually really beautiful to watch, actually, because I wasn't sure how it would kind of work, because the young company are in the building for relatively limited time because of their, they've got a bit of school and what have you. But we have managed to have quite a few rehearsals where they have integrated into the full company, and we gave quite a bit of time at the beginning of rehearsals for that.
They know who their characters are. They've worked really hard at developing their rap characters and their child characters and where they're from, what kind of families they are, all of that sort of back history in detail. They're totally enmeshed in. But so when they come in the room, they're often in a better place than the adult company.
And what was lovely was the first time they met the professional company, they actually went in character, in the characters that they're playing in the hall. And we had sort of two reasons for doing that. One was for me to check and see how it may work with strangers, and for Melly to see where we were up to. But also I think there was something quite empowering for the children's ensemble to have something to share, and for the actors to be able to respond to that and be like, wow, that was, you've already been doing all this work, isn't it exciting? We've just been in the building 2 days and you've already got all of this under your belts.
Because we work with 3 groups, you'll get one group, Team A will come in, and often with Team A I'm working things out, but you have a very, the parameters, the time parameters are very limited with working with children. They need a break at certain times, and their concentration levels are less than the adults actually, but only because there's lots of them. I think it's more to do with the amount of people in the room. You don't, if there's 3, you take responsibility for paying attention. If there's like 30, you can kind of switch off. I do it. But we have, so with Team A, well, I'm often sort of inventing things and trying to work things out. And then by Team B, I can sort of get a little bit further along the line. By the time it's Team C, we're perfecting the ideas a bit more. So Team C have had an easier ride, I think. But it's been absolutely wonderful, and they've been very creative, very disciplined, and it's been great.